Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to No Drama Just Movies, Rapid Reviews. So, I watched Black Phone 2 recently, and I had some thoughts. Right off the bat, I gotta be honest, I don't think this needed a sequel. The first film was pretty wrapped up, and while it was okay, I didn't really need a follow-up. I'm a bit split on the execution as well. I like that Gwen now being more of a protagonist adds a new viewpoint, but how is this not just a Nightmare on Elm Street movie? The scary guy that haunts your dreams and can also hurt you in the real world. The idea that Finn still gets these calls, I'm assuming from ghosts, would have maybe made for a better sequel. A bit of a stir of echoes, or where the Sixth Sense might have led if Cole's story had continued. Finn helping a ghost solve a problem, maybe with a grabber getting in the way. Okay, but let's get the good stuff out of the way first. I like the idea that the phone now transcends time as well, not just death. With Gwen talking to her mum, and the one-sided conversation from the beginning being recontextualized with Gwen's side added, was a nice touch. The acting was okay for most parts, although some of it was a bit, shall we say, disconnected. I think that's the best way I can describe it. Like, the actors weren't really feeling what they were saying. The only standout for me was Ethan Hawke. What a surprise that the guy who's been in the business the longest knows what he's doing. I liked him as the grabber, although he didn't really get a chance to properly shine as much as in the first movie. I liked the opening of Finn beating up a kid. It shows that his experience with the grabber messed him up and made him more violent, which was a good arc for his character, and Mason Thames has a good emotional moment later when he opens up to his sister. But this is also where I wish they would have stuck with him as the protagonist, exploring what the experience has done to him. I liked, for example, that this story has spread and become a bit of a legend, where even the camp owner has heard the story of the kid that killed the grabber. How does this notoriety change Finn's life? Does he take ownership of what he has done? And what does that mean for who he is? The script was not as strong. Lines like Gwen's "I feel crazy" or the grabber's cliche "vengeance is mine" did not work. In the emotional scene that I mentioned earlier, Mason Thames has to say nothing but "shut up" 7 times while Gwen delivers her speech. Why doesn't he get to do something? Run at her, shout something. Actions too, when the grabber attacks Gwen in the Kemp crematorium? Everybody just stands there and watches instead of doing something. Then, when they're all looking for the other boys in the lake, Mustang just lets Gwen fall asleep. She was there when the grabber nearly threw her in the oven. It just feels so forced from the writing side. We need the grabber to attack here, so suddenly people are stupid. There are weird additions as well that don't really play a big part. There are some religious elements. The camp obviously being a Christian camp, but also Barbara and Gwen quoting Bible verses at each other, then Gwen talking to Jesus while Ernie is spooning her, and Ernie finding it strangely hot, I guess? I would accept that if Gwen and the others used religion, like the power of Christ, against the grabber. But that's not what happens, so it just feels like another element they threw in there and then forgot about. The horror didn't work that well for me either, to be honest. If you've seen one of my other horror movie reviews, you probably know I'm not a massive fan of jump scares. They just don't do it for me. This movie had a few, although a lot of it leaned also towards the more gory. Again, not really my thing, but if bloody hacking and slashing or gross walking corpses are for you, maybe you might get a little out of this. Overall, this wasn't a great experience. The actors tried, but I think the script or the direction or both were too weak. The plot felt forced at times, and some of the choices and reactions from characters made no sense. The horror was more on the gory side, which might be a plus for you, but it wasn't as effective for me. While it was nice seeing Ethan Hawke as the baddie again, maybe they should have just let the grabber stay in hell where he belongs. And that's all. Roll credits.